Hey y'all, it's Dana, your friendly neighborhood wildlife biologist. In his name outdoors. He can save me, he can save you. All I'm doing is raking out a dam, but I got a little story to tell you about my life. So if you don't, about how I got into this. So, my sister died April 4th, 1999. And I never knew why. My best friend died, Chris Jarowski, about 6 years ago. Sister died in a car accident. Head on Easter Sunday. Going turkey hunting. Always been angry at God because of that. A few years ago, some major changes started happening in my life. And I didn't know what to do. So late November, I went over to my sister's grave and I sat down in front of it and I just started talking to her. I said, Kate, you know, why'd you have to leave me? Why'd God have to take you? It just made me mad that God took my sister. And at the time, I hadn't been to church in 20 years. I believed, but you know what? I wasn't I got baptized, but putting water on the head of an 8-year-old is just a wet head. So I asked my sister. After about 15 minutes of talking, I looked at my sister's mausoleum and I said, Kate, are you listening? God, are you listening? Is there really a God out there? Show me a sign. That's exactly what I said. Kate, God, show me a sign y'all are even out there. So this is a cold, cold, cold day, and I'm a wildlife biologist. Cemetery, I always say there's 100 trees and 1,000 limbs. It's right at dusk after a front came through, so it's windy, nasty, not a bird out there. As soon as I said, Kate, God, show me a sign this is even real, y'all are even out there. As soon as that happened, now I'm a wildlife biologist, I heard a dove fly up in the limb behind me. As soon as I said that. And I started thinking to myself, well, that's weird. There shouldn't be a dove out here. It's right before dark and it's windy and nasty. So I got curious and pulled up my phone and I searched significance of dove in Christianity, and I was floored by what it said. And if you don't know, look at dove in Christianity and significance. So I sat there and I talked to Kate about 20 more minutes. And I started really thinking. I said, Kate, if you hadn't died, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you and wondering if God's real. I don't know what the plan is. Now, this is 2 years ago, November of 2024. I had just got some news in my life that rocked my world, and I was trying to cope, trying to figure things out. So I sat there and talked to her in my little chair for about 20 more minutes. That dove stayed there next to me for 20 more minutes. I sat back down and I said, well, Kate, I gotta go. It's getting late. So I kind of eased up a little bit and looked behind me. And as soon as I said, Kate, I gotta go, that dove flew off. That started a change in me that took years, and I'm still learning. I ain't the best Christian out there. I learn every day. I couldn't recite you a single Bible verse. And I talked to my preacher one day. He was kind of guiding me through this, and he looked at me and said, Dana, You'll influence a lot of people. You'll influence thousands. When my close friend Brandon said, Danny, you're going to be out there, you're going to influence people. And I was like, I'm an introvert that lives in the woods by myself. I talk to one person a day. How in the heck am I going to influence people? I got 27,500 followers who I never dreamed would give a hoot of what I do for a living. I'm a nasty man who lives in the swamp by myself. People look for the signs. I tell folks I don't wear my religion on my sleeve, but I wear it on my back. He might be trying to talk to you right now. You're just not looking for the signs. I'm gonna rake this dam. I'm not one to do something like this, and it took me months. I kept getting this urge to do this little video for months, and I just didn't want to do it. Just a dove. And if you look at my shirts, that's the reason there's a dove on top of the cross. That's the reason. It's because that dove flew up and sat next to me the entire time. As soon as I said, show me a sign you're listening, God. Show me a sign, Kate, that you're even listening to me. Show me a sign this whole religion thing is all real. One bird in the cemetery. 100 trees and 1,000 limbs. As soon as I said, show me this is all real, that dove flew up and stayed with me right until I said, Kate, I got to go. I miss you, Kate. I gotta go.